All right, you guys have been asking for some shop vlogs, so we're gonna start with this one today. I already got a head start. Let me show you what's going on. This is a Dodge Demon Chrysler 300 swap that a customer started, but he didn't finish it. As you can see, the whole car is torn apart. I just got done installing the body harness because they had a body harness in from a Challenger. And then obviously for a Challenger, being in a four-door car, the rear windows weren't gonna work. So I installed a brand new body harness, that's a box part right there, out of a Dodge Charger Red Eye. The reason is because over here, this is why you cannot get a Charger regular Hellcat harness, because on the Red Eyes and Demons, it has a dual fuel pump modules. So it has two plugs. On the regular Hellcat one, which he got, I think this is the old one. Let me see if I can find it for you guys real quick. Where's the trunk? Where's the trunk? Right here. See how that only has one plug? So you're gonna have one of your pumps not working because this has a dual pump setup. So we got him a Red Eye harness, installed it. I just actually got done tapping everything down, got all my ground secured there and there. Gotta keep your battery disconnected till you're done. This power wire goes from the firewall. There's a post, so this thing over here goes all the way through the strut tower underneath, and it plugs in through the fender liner, and that's where you see it to the firewall. So that runs to the battery. I got the grounds done here. This is for the seat. There's a couple sensors that are missing. So the impact sensor for the airbags are missing on this side. That's missing, but it should be able to start. So what I'm working on now, he went and bought a headlamp to dash harness off a Hellcat Charger, which is this over here, still brand new in the wrapper. But here's the issue. On the Demon motor, the plug for, let me get a light so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The plug for the AC switch, which is right over here, plugs in like that. It has an extension, so it goes over here, routes through here, has a zip tie that holds it, and then plugs in right here. And then the plug for it is right here, and that's how it plugs in. This is part of the headlamp to dash harness, right? It's part of the headlamp to dash harness. So the one that he got me, which is right over here, let me show you what's going on. Sounds like a headache, but it's really not. You just gotta know what you're looking at. This is for the wiper blade motor. This is for the AC pressure switch. This is for the brake reservoir. That switch over there for the sensor, the level sensor. As you can see, this one does not have the plug for the AC pressure thing, which is right there. Why? Because on the Hellcats, let me show you on this one. This is what's cool about having multiple swaps. I could give you guys some examples. See that plug right there? It runs with the engine harness. So the only way to actually do this the correct way is to replace the whole engine harness, which we don't have. So this is what I'm gonna do. I looked at all the pins going from the PCM to this connector over here that go to the pump for the supercharger. Everything is almost identical. Only thing that's different is, which I just showed you guys, the AC. And then there's a plug that goes right here. This goes through the firewall, has two plugs. One of them is for the brake pedal, which I have a new one over here. I'll show you guys how that looks. That's the brake switch. That's the plug for that. And then the other one, this controls like your front impact sensors, has a whole bunch of wires that go to it. There's about 10 pins. On the Challenger, which he has installed in there now, where's the plug? Right here. This is how it looks. On the Charger, it looks like this, because we just installed the Charger harness. So obviously that doesn't plug into there. So I depinned all the pins off that harness that he got, the new one. I took the connector off of it. And what I'm doing now is I'm wiring them one by one. So this part will sit OEM with that once I'm done with it. I got about 8 wires to go, but for the most part, everything is the same. Let me just log in. I'm gonna start doing these every day because a lot of this shit is helpful. So as you can see, pin number 1, blue and violet, right front impact sensor. Pin number 1 on this, I already took it out. Where is it? This one over here. Blue and violet. As you can see, the pin is smaller compared to the charger ones. It's about triple the size of that. Goes on the same pin. So it goes to pin number 1 from there to there. Sounds confusing, but once I'm done, I'll show you guys how this looks. And then this will plug in here, and then we should be all done with this side. He went and he changed the door harnesses to a Challenger door, and he messed up because I'm gonna go back and redo it to a 300 door harness, and then it's gonna plug in like factory, and everything's gonna work on this door, that door, and all the back doors. As you can see, this one's plugged in, so this door is gonna work. That one's already plugged in. I just gotta button it up with that clip. What else? The speakers, I still gotta do the rear shelf area. The RFH is plugged in. So once I'm done with this, connector, I can bring that dash in. As you can see, he has a Demon cluster on there. I still gotta replace the dash harness, but I'll explain why in a second. I hope nothing's cut on here. Yeah, we should be good. So once I'm done wiring this up, I'll show you guys how it looks. We're doing some solder. Where's my solder? Solder. I got my little solder iron, and then I'm gonna wrap it up and then plug it in, and then I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do next. All right, so I got another 3 done, but I wanted to stop at this one just so you guys don't get this confused if you're ever doing this job yourself. So on the Challenger plug, pin number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is brown and white, and this was data bus minus shift or negative shift, whatever you want to call it. It's pin number 5. On the charger, that same pin, data bus minus E shift, brown and white, is pin number 9. So as you can see, there's 2 different ones for police and not police. We have that pin, so it's gonna go to pin number 9, not pin number 5. So if I messed up and put in a pin number 5, I would have had a whole bunch of codes that we can never figure out. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this one over here is pin number 9. And this over here, I'm gonna try to do this one hand. That's it. That's pin number 9. So you gotta be careful because even though they're the same color, they could be in different pin location. And that could cause you a whole bunch of problems. Like that red eye that I had in here, didn't record it, but the customer tried to wire up himself and the car wouldn't start. You gotta pay attention to this stuff right here. So I'm gonna finish wiring this. I got about 6 more, 1, 2, 3, about 5 more. And then we'll plug this in, and then I gotta show you guys what's going on the other side right there. It's OEM. So just to make sure, so on this side you got 4 pins, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you flip it, same pins on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. They are a different color because one is off the newer body, other one's off the older body, but it should work. Now I'm gonna plug it in. I gotta install the brake sensor. Plug that in right there. There's a screw that holds it right in there, and this little rod is the one that controls it. So once we're done from here, I already talked about the brake, not the brake, the door. We got to rewire the door harness. But let me show you what's going on the passenger side. It's about the same concept as this because I'm trying to save. The whole point of this is to save the headlamp to dash harness off the Demon. So we're not going to change it with that one. We're going to make plugs and connectors off the Charger one work on the Challenger one. It sounds like a little more work, but it's the only way to get this right. So this plug over here, this is from the Charger, this is from the Challenger. I got to do the same thing. I have to look at the pins coming in from the Charger and coming in from the Challenger and make sure they both do the same job, because if they have different jobs, then it'll be a mix-up. So if one of these, let's say for example, are for airbag, on the other side some for HVAC, like nothing's gonna work. So I got to check the diagram on my computer. Just make sure the pins are lining up the way they're supposed to. Install the BCM. You got these 2 plugs that go over here, one in here, one in here, and then you got these 2 plugs that go right there. Pretty self-explanatory. And then this will line up over here, and then we'll get ready for first start. Got to install the dash right after I'm done. The key is somewhere in my toolbox, and then we'll see if we get it cranked up for the first time. Got the brake switch installed. Be careful of flipping these backwards. Sometimes people put this post underneath this, and the car will start without pressing the brake. So that's how it's supposed to be. You do not go crazy with it. And then the plug goes from on top. Let me disconnect this real quick. So this post over here, or this clip I should say, goes, it's hard to do this shit with one hand. Anyways, I'll get that in. Plugs in like this, other way. And then you just follow it back up here. There's a clip over here. That's one. And then goes all the way through. Another clip over here. And that's it. Now this part over here will go underneath this and clip back in to the harness that we just wired up. So I think we should be fine. I checked the wiring. All of it looks the same, but the only way to tell for sure is when I install the dash. If we try to start it, if it starts, it's fine. The reason I say that is because a lot of these wires control the fuel system that runs through this harness all the way back to the fuel controllers. I got the BCM installed, not 100% because I'm still testing. This plug will go to the dash, this plug will go to the dash, and this plug will go to the dash, and they got one over here for the HVAC system. So we're gonna drop that dash in there. I had my tripod set up, but I don't know where my handle went, so I can't hold up the phone. So we're gonna do that next and try to get a first startup. I gotta find a battery for this thing. This thing sat for over a year. I gotta reinstall this stuff. But yeah, this thing sat for over a year because they couldn't figure out the wiring part of it. And hopefully we can get a first startup. I've been working on this thing since 9 a.m. What time is it right now? It's 2, so about 4 hours. Let's get it. All right, got the charger dash in there. Now I just gotta plug in the body control module, which is this plug. This plug will go right in there, and then we should be solid. I'm gonna take off the glove box, that way I can see this stuff a little bit better. We're getting close for our first startup, see what it does. I already installed the battery. Battery's on there. Keep the jump off it for a minute. And then the power cable that goes from the battery terminal to the fuse box, I got that mounted down. So we should be good. Let me just take off that glove box. That way I can reach this connector better. And we'll give it its first shot. All right, we got another issue. Got the glove box off. This plug, that brown plug over there, that is part of the Challenger harness. That goes from the headlamp to the dash. On the Charger, it looks like this. Where is it? Looks like this. On the Challenger, it looks like that. So they're two different style connectors. As you can see, the Charger one's way bigger. So what we got to do now is the same thing. We got to find what pin goes to what. This controls all the communication wires, the limb bus, the positive and negative, and without that, so right now, I'll show you what's going on. The car's not going to start because there's no communication going from the PCM to inside the car. So you can turn the ignition on. We got power, but no fuel pumps, and then it's gonna tell you right now the car's on drive. We're not in park. Wait for it. Security lights flashing. Right there. Because of that plug. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna disconnect the battery, re-pin that same connector, and then we should be good. I don't see anything else that should cause an issue. And then we'll try to get started. All right, got the battery charger. The battery got fried and the drum box died out too. Got the harness all finished up. It should start, I hope. All right, ignition cycle. Fuel pumps are kicking on. Let's do it one more time just to prime it. All right, here we go. Damn. Let me put the drum box with the charger. This thing is toast, god damn. If that don't start it, I don't know. Yes, sir. Got some Christmas lights, but so now we got to do the rear ABS harness. That's why the ABS light's on. We just checked it for codes and then figure out, well, obviously the airbag light's on because there's no seats in there, and then check engine light's on because this was unplugged before we started this, so it threw a code for those sensors. But that's gonna be it for today. Oh shit. That's gonna be it for today. So next video we're gonna be blowing up the interior and get the headlights wired up. The doors have to get wired up. Get this thing back to the customer and do a first drive with it too.